Very good evening to all of you. Welcome to yet another Zoom call organized by Jungle Bells. Jungle Bells is an exclusive women's wildlife group. We are based out of Pune. We do a lot of activities related to wildlife conservation and, of course, excursions. Before we begin, I would request all of you who have joined and who would be joining ahead to keep your videos and off and mute yourselves for a stream a good experience overall. If you have any questions for our guests for today, please type them in the chat box and we will address them after their talk. If you want to receive any further updates regarding our future webinars or events or any kind of activities that we hold at Jungle Bells, you can just put your numbers in the chat box or message us individually also. We would be happy to add you to our community group for all activities related to wildlife. Yes. So without further ado, I think let's continue. And we have a very esteemed guest today. And I got in touch with her through another very close friend, Anuj Khare, and he very readily shared the contact because he said, Himangi, you have to get her on your webinar to showcase what work she has been doing for a long time. I'm sure she has, moved around in a lot of circles, given speeches, spoken about her work. But since we are more women centric, I should not be gender biased, but I would still say that we are women centric. So I thought we have to get her once to speak about all the good work and fantastic job that she has been doing over the years. So we would love to hear more about it, but just a little bit of information about her. So today we are honored to have with us Poonam Dhanwatey, a distinguished wildlife conservationist who has dedicated over 28 years to tiger conservation and human wildlife conflict mitigation across central India. She is the co founder and trustee of the Tiger Research and Conservation Trust, a governing council member of Bombay Natural History Society, additional director at InFED. I am Nagpur, a TEDx speaker and an alumna of Smithsonian Institution, Washington, D.C. Her pioneering work in conflict mitigation has played a significant role in influencing Maharashtra government policies benefiting more than 1,000 plus villages. She has worked extensively across Tadoba, Chandrapur, Pench, and the Vidarbha landscape, promoting peaceful coexistence between people and wildlife. Her contributions also include community response systems, rebuilding degraded landscapes, ecotourism initiatives, forest conservation, and capacity building for forest staff and local communities. Please join us in warmly welcoming Poonam ma'am. Uh, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Poonam ma'am, because at one go you kind of, accepted. I always had heard of you, but never had an opportunity. So the moment Anuj had mentioned your name, I jumped to it and I thought we should get you on our this thing. So just as for the audience also who are there live on Facebook also, so I would just like to tell you this is a documentation effort also because we will be uploading it post this webinar on YouTube and you can listen to it at your own when you have time at your own sweet time and listen to what Poonam ma'am, even though if you would not be joining with us today. So anyone who wants, I mean, it's always there on our YouTube whenever you want to access it. Yes. So, yes. So what, we'll just start with a very basic question. What first inspired you to dedicate your life to wildlife conservation and tiger protection?
So, thank you, Himangi and Bellies, for having me here. It's such an honor to be part of a group where you bring more power to women. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes. So, it's a question which I've been often asked as to what inspired me and whether it was me or my husband who inspired the other person. But I have grown up in Nagpur, and Nagpur is surrounded by forest, and it is something that we always visited with me and my brother, with our father, who was also a very ardent wildlife lover, and he was also an honorary wildlife warden way back in his days. So I think what has actually got us into this full time as a proper, to be able to give years is just the fact that I wanted to I wanted to do something for the forest, which was near my hometown. And I wanted my children and maybe grandchildren to be able to enjoy the forest and see the tigers and fall in love with them just the way I did. So I think it just came from there.
That's so wonderful. So it actually started as, a family kind of, you all of you were in it. And so I think that legacy. So would your children also, do they have a liking for all this?
Uh, yes. So we have
Okay.
one son, Nikhil, and he
Okay.
spent a lot of his time in the forest, and his a lot of his time growing years have been in the forest. So he does want to pursue. Unfortunately, we have our daughter-in-law. That's why I said
Yes.
children, because our daughter-in-law also works in the climate space, and
Okay.
she also is very, very keen to do something for environment and climate and wildlife. So we are actually very fortunate, yes.
That's so wonderful. So how did your journey in Tadoba and Vidarbha, specifically landscape, begin?
We were doing a lot of wildlife photography and spending a lot of time, me and my husband Harshvardhan. We were spending time in Nagjira because that was our first love. Nagjira has always been a place that we've always gone to. And I think way back in 99 was when our life took a turn when we met Dr. Ulas Karath, who's a very leading biologist. And we also
Yes.
met Mr. Valmik Thapar at Tadoba, and they're the ones who, I must say, steered us from, volunteering and basically, what should I say, that from photography and to serious conservation. When they said adopt a larger landscape which is sustainable and do something which is science based. So that's where we moved our footprint from Nagjira to Tadoba because Tadoba was much bigger. And it was under his guidance, Dr. Karan's mentorship and guidance, that he trained us in the ways of doing science-based conservation. And so that's how it began in the year 2000.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. So first, I really did not know that you first was associated with Nazira. So way back. So that's good to know. I mean, from Nazira to Tadoba, I mean, it's been a this thing, and I think still there are a lot of people working for Nazira also, like Kiran sir, who's right now based out of there and has wholly devoted his life for the landscape and the forest of Nazira. It's amazing. What do you think of human-tiger conflict? It's increasing today as you see many, across many landscapes because we just got the news that today itself also the Tendupatta, those who had gone to fetch Tendupatta and they were killed. So, what is your view about this in overall? Why is it happening for the normal layman audience that they would like to understand, and what we should be doing to, prohibit all this?
So human large carnivore conflict is it's a complicated subject, and it requires a matrix of solutions. It requires multiple layers of mitigation, and it has a number of stakeholders who are involved in it. And primarily, it's not really conflict. It's an interface between people and wildlife. You also have an interface through tourism where the interface is positive. So, but here it is a negative interface where you come across an animal and there's a negative impact either on people or on the animal. And that's what we
Right.
call conflict. So first, I would like to clarify that there are no man eaters. So tigers don't want to eat men. They don't want to
Yes.
have anything to do with man, woman, anything. they like to stay away from, and historically it's been seen that tigers always
Yeah.
stay away. It's the leopard which somehow coexists better around our
Right.
village fringes. So, but they have also managed to be elusive and coexist with us in a very good way. But what is happening now is animals disperse from one breeding area into the other, looking for more home ranges. And unfortunately, this dispersal is seeing a very negative interface with people because they are now dispersing through broken forested corridors, which were probably earlier intact. So when they move across from one area to the other, or when they move outside their so-called inviolate reserves, they are coming across people, and people's dependence on the forest also has increased. The population of people living around fringes have also increased. So
Right.
you can't say who's at fault, but there are
Yeah.
multiple, yeah, there are multiple reasons why conflict is happening. Primarily, our all our corridors are fragmented, whether it is by
Yes.
road widening or linear threads or mining or whatever, canals. So animals don't have place to walk through, and people's dependence on the forest continues till they depend
Yeah.
for their biotic pressure or the livelihood on the forest. They continue coming.
Right.
So these
Yeah.
episodes are extremely unfortunate at the loss of so many people. Chandrapur has
Right.
been probably a hotspot of this conflict. And
Yes.
it came as a shock to know that these four ladies who were killed
Yes.
at one episode, they had gone in to collect the Indupatta. So yeah,
Correct.
yeah, but it
Yeah.
requires a lot of awareness to create a lot of awareness to these people who are at high risk.
Right. 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 Absolutely. So even we were, kind of discussing about it today, and as you perfectly put it across, that somewhere an alternative livelihood for them so that they do not enter the forest,
Yes.
because tiger is primarily not a man eater, as you perfectly said. It is very, very wrongly portrayed that they want to kill us for eating, basically, because they just, maybe they are in the defense of their own selves, or maybe it was a tigress with her cubs and she did not know how to react with so many this thing. So I guess awareness is might be a lot of people coming together to make awareness, rather than negative publicity in the media, that often it goes out like the tigers are the culprits. So maybe that kind of awareness is very, very needed, much needed.
Yes, I
All right.
want like to add one thing
Yeah.
that
Sure.
it's all these attacks are not intentional. All
Yes.
these attacks are accidental.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct. Correct. Absolutely. Okay. So we have a few photographs also, but I think we'll cover a little bit of questions and then move to photos so you can speak about them ahead.
sure.
Um, So we spoke about this right now. It's a similar misconceptions about people having tigers and the tiger wildlife conflict. So, in your experience, can true coexistence between humans and large carnivores really can be achieved?
We have been coexisting. It's not a
Yeah.
peaceful coexistence.
Right.
You can say that it's more about sharing of resources when you share
Yeah.
the same forest or you share the same water from a lake.
Right.
And
Right.
the mantra is avoidance. You
Right.
cannot humanize tigers. You can't say, oh, you see a tiger in the forest and he looks so nice and you want, he looks cuddly and he looks beautiful. No, they are
Yeah.
dangerous. Yeah, even if
Yes.
he comes close to the village, he's dangerous. So
Yeah.
you have to accept that, respect that, and respect the distance. So they always keep their distance.
Right.
It's the people who most attacks do happen in fields or in forest, very
Right.
rarely in villages. So,
Right.
so it's more about avoidance. So coexistence,
Correct.
but
Yeah.
careful.
Correct. Yeah. Well said. That is very well said. Could you share with us some successful conflict mitigation or coexistence models that have shown positive results on the ground? So you've been working very actively in all this. So if anything, you would just like to mention, here about something that has been extremely successful in your.
I always tell people in all my discussions that, Chandrapur has been incorrectly, what should I say, labeled as a conflict hotspot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Tadoba is a beautiful model, a beautiful example of us. It's a success story.
Right.
Success story of protection, of voluntary rehabilitation, and it shows coexistence. Because though when people say that it's happening again at Tadoba landscape, well, attacks are not happening in Tadoba landscape. And they're not happening in Tadoba, not in the core, not in the buffer also, not in the immediate buffer. They're happening
Right.
on the fringes or in the
Correct.
corridors. This attack has happened in the corridor towards Mool.
Correct.
Yeah, it may be
Correct.
called Tadoba landscape. But so Tadoba is a fantastic success story where
Right.
we have brought in policies from the state. There's one policy which was designed and conceptualized and proposed by us. It's called Dr.
Yeah.
Prasad Mukherjee Jan Van Vikas Yojana. It's based on our conflict paper. It's a study of
Right.
more 250, 300 attacks on people by tigers and leopards. And that data
Okay.
shows the reasons for conflict. And those
Right.
reasons have been addressed through Maharashtra state's policy. I must
Right.
compliment and congratulate the government for taking up this. It's almost been now 10, 11 years. Every
Right.
village gets 25 lakhs to address the reasons that that create conflict. So there are more than 1100 villages. Every family has got a toilet, has got cooking gas. So these are reasons why people go into the forest, and
Right.
reasons have been addressed. We've also conceptualized and implemented a very nice program to create leadership among the local people. It's called the primary response teams. They are basically
Right.
first responders in the community to react to a conflict situation, or they also give alerts to the community when there is a threat. And
Yeah.
these are success stories which have been replicated in other landscapes as well, and
Right.
especially the PRTs. Even in there are PRTs in Bangladesh. It's been done in Nepal, and so it's come from Taruba, and Taruba
Yeah.
has shown some beautiful models.
Yeah, correct, correct. So we always keep on telling, our your people here also, just to while speaking also, I said someone who wants to know what is coexistence, that is the Tadoba which has gone on a radar world, map saying that this is the coexistence, just not tourism, but also living with the tigers. And frankly, what I observed, you're way higher there, but when always I observe that whenever a person is killed in a man animal conflict there, and if you ask that person's family member that kaun se tiger ne mara, or if he was very close, they never say the name of the tiger, or they never want to speak up, because they know the importance. For them it's like the family member, though they might be really suffering out of it, but they never want to pinpoint specifically that ye tiger ne mara ya ye. So they're very well aware that tigers are important for them also, and they're like the family also. So this I've observed while speaking on a lot of people who reside there. So I don't know your opinion on it. What do you want to say?
It's not a recent thing. So
Yeah,
it's the landscape and the people who live there.
correct.
These are tribals, and
Yeah,
all, most of our, what should I say, the credit of this
yeah,
coexistence goes to the people. They are
yeah,
animals. They prey to the animals,
yes,
and they believe that the animals have a right to be there, and they also understand that they are sharing their forest with the animals. So their
yes. Well
tolerance
said.
their tolerance to this coexistence or sharing of resources is extremely high, that you will
Yeah,
not see anywhere else. You will not find it in a place like Nashik, where there are more urbanized people.
yeah, yeah,
That's what is different about this landscape. And
yeah,
it's not fair for us to say that, well, I don't want my child to be living there in that difficult situation, but I still feel, or I want to convince those people to continue living in that difficult situation. But
right.
they understand that better than we do. So
Correct,
yes,
correct, correct.
the success model of Tadoba, it lies on the shoulders of the local people.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Uh, is there any particular field experience or an incident that has impacted you and emotionally stayed with you forever? Or if you remember right now, also you feel really overwhelmed by the entire thing?
Yeah, so when conflict began in 2007, and by 2011, uh, we were working a lot in these areas outside Tadoba, Brahmapuri, and all these. And that's
Right.
when we came across three episodes where the tigress, the mother, was missing. And we were in a situation which had, which forced us to rescue the cubs. So there were three small cubs which we got, and then there were three larger ones which were about 6 7 months old, and two cubs who were about 6 months old from Mendki, and we
Mm.
brought them into the Nagpur Zoo. But so this episode really touched me that when I got them from there, from Mendki, when we picked up those 6 month old, there were two tiger cubs, and from in the midst of more than 2,000 people, a mob of 2,000 people, we saved them, got them into a cage, and with the forest department, got them to the zoo. And then I saw them growing in the harsh summer in the small cement cages, or, in the small cement
Yeah.
Nagpur Zoo away. So these are wild tigers which we brought into the zoo. So that episode really hit me hard, and I'm still in a dilemma whether, did I do right? Did they deserve
Right.
this? Did they deserve
Yeah.
life of captivity in a small cage? Could I have
Yeah.
done better?
Hmm.
So, but this dilemma is always there with any conservationist
Yeah.
who brings rescued animals into captivity, and they cannot be released again because they're too small.
Right.
But
Right. Right.
yeah, these are answers which you don't have. These are questions which you
Yes.
don't have answers to. And when you
Yeah.
look at them, and then you say, every time I would go to the zoo, and in my heart, I would say, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that you're here."
Yeah.
Uh,
Correct. Correct.
so,
Correct.
but there have been multiple. I mean, over the span of 25 years, Harsh and me have seen so many episodes which have touched us, beautiful ones, sad
Hmm.
ones, deaths of people, deaths of animals, young tiger
Hmm.
calves burnt along with the grass and stuff like that. So yeah, but it's been a lovely journey.
Yeah, I'm sure. So I think I'll share your, before I forget that. Okay. So here are a few moments from your wildlife. We just put it together as now the photographs. So if you want to just speak about them, and you can let me know if you want me to move ahead, basically.
Sure. So that's a picture of
Yeah.
my family, my
Yeah.
son and my daughter-in-law,
Yeah.
Nikhil and Milani, with Harsh and me. And
Yeah.
some of the pictures of our travels through wildlife areas. Yeah. Then
Right.
the second slide, these are, so we've created this new concept called primary response teams. It came
Yeah.
out it came out of what should I say, a failure to be able to keep people out, or people to hear us. So when we went into villages to try and tell people what not to do,
Hmm.
there's a tiger around them. It was difficult for us to convey our message because coming from a very urban, we are urban looking. And for people,
Right.
rural people or tribals to understand what we are saying and actually to believe in us, it was difficult.
Hmm.
Then we thought
Right.
of having a group of that community, maybe five or
Right.
six youth, who we could train, and they
Hmm.
in turn could speak to their people. So
Right.
coming from them. So then we trained these people. So now we have primary response teams. They are for the first responders in that
Hmm.
in the village who respond to conflict mitigation,
Hmm.
respond for mitigation. And we
Right.
train them, we equip them. They are the youth. There you can see them in the red jackets. And
Right.
then we give them all kinds of training. So this is a drill which we were doing about telling them how to react. This is their reaction before the forest
Right.
department steps in.
Department steps in. Yeah. Correct.
So
Correct.
what do? They have to call the guard, they have to call us, and then put a try and put a ladder inside and move
Hmm.
the people away so that in case if the leopard can come out by itself, he can, and
Right.
there should not be any attack. So there were multiple episodes like this that we train these boys for. There are women also
Right.
who work on our PRTs, and now we've got them in more than 330 villages. So
Wow.
they've become a little bridge between
Yeah.
community and the forest guard,
Yeah.
and they help the
Yeah.
guard with everything now. So
Correct. Correct.
that's a beautiful
Absolutely.
yeah concept which has really taken up, and that's been addressed. It's a wonderful mitigation tool.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
The second,
Fantastic.
yes.
I will just this is
So this is a pictures from the benefits that people got from
okay.
policy of the state. It's called Dr. Shama Prasad Mukherjee Jan Van Vikas Yojana, based on our paper, and
Right.
it was to mitigate conflict. So as you can see, these cooking gas and refills along with cylinders were given now
Hmm.
in more than 1108 villages across the state, and
Okay.
those are toilets made. It's
Okay.
interesting that people still don't want the toilets in their house.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a compound, but in a corner. So
Yeah.
still, it gives them a life of dignity. People do not need to go for open defecation in the forest.
Yes.
Those were
Yeah.
episodes where, like for firewood collection, those were episodes where actually people were getting killed, like Tendupalli.
Right.
So,
Right.
so these are benefits given, and it's brought a lot of behavioral change because we do a lot of follow-up surveys, and
Right.
almost 85 to 90% of firewood collection has gone down in Tadoba
Okay.
itself. More than
Okay.
92 to 93% people use the toilets now.
Okay. Correct.
There
Correct.
is
Correct.
behavioral change.
Yeah. Superb. So
Yeah. We also monitor with our staff, we monitor animal presence near villages just to,
yeah.
alerts. And this is a picture, this is one of the lots of pictures we have our training programs of the forest staff, right from the
Hmm.
use of GPS, how to use rangefinders, how to use camera traps, then, telling them about what is conflict because it's a new thing.
Right.
Even when they go into the villages, they have to understand how to address this. So we do train
Correct.
forest staff about reasons for conflict. Yeah. Yeah, one of the TEDx talk in one of the schools at Chandigarh.
Wow.
And then,
Yeah.
yeah, and as you grow, you uh, keep going older, more and more committees, and there are responsibilities that are added on. And it's nice to share experiences because it could also be a learning experience for people. So,
Correct.
yeah, yeah,
Correct. Correct. So,
yeah.
what was your subject at the TEDx, if I can know? Similar, conflict related? Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
conflict, coexistence. It's about
Coexistence.
coexistence, and it's also about it's not about biology or, names of trees or animals. I come from an
Hmm.
architectural background. I'm an interior
Hmm.
designer by profession.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
it's also to encourage youth and students to do their bit in their own backyard. You don't need to be
Right.
a biologist to do conservation or to bring change. So it was more about, yeah, encouraging them and telling them our story.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
So these are some more of those primary response.
PRTs. Okay.
Just, yeah,
Yeah.
look very smart with their uniform. It also gives
Mm.
them a platform within their village to feel good. They
Yeah.
like the fact that, yes, they are protecting their community from threats. And
Yeah.
the picture on the right side, I'm very proud of that picture because I've had a lot of young boys from the village work with us on our
Yeah.
NGO, on projects of our NGO. And all these boys, the two guys in the uniform, Rundan and Vinod, and Mukesh and Ashish. So all of them have worked with us, and now two of them are rangers. So from village youth to working with an NGO, both of them have worked with us for 6, 7 years, and now they're a part of the state government as rangers. They were posted in Tadoba recently. So
Yeah.
it's good to be able to bring more people who actually do the work on the ground. So I'm
Yeah,
very proud of
absolutely.
my boys. Yes.
Yes. So, a small thing I would like to mention to the audience who are watching. So, I had gone to visit Poonam ma'am's place in Tadoba right now. I wanted to see how she's, done up all that, and, how she works there basically. So, I had a very short visit because I had a safari in the afternoon, and the person who was driving me to her place has worked with you apparently, Poonam ma'am, and I forgot his name right now, but he was driving the Innova. If I recollect it, I will like to tell you ahead, but I right now don't remember his name.
Yogesh?
Uh, no, some Chandu. Wait, I'll tell you later. But he said, तिकडे चाललात का तुम्ही? म्हटलं, yeah. So तुम्ही परत येणार आहे का? म्हटलं, हो, safari आहे. Then he started telling me, because we had quite some time till we reached your place. So he was telling me, Kiti Puram madam, I was working with her. She's extremely, very, very well driven. She takes care of her people. So he had everything positive because we were unknown to each other, or he did not know that I was going to meet you. So nothing was, there was no background. I just sat there. He said, "Kute jaayche?" I said, "Ithe jaayche." And that's how he started. So the whole half an hour that we were actually driving towards your place, he was in awe of your work. Frankly, he doesn't work with you anymore now. He's into this commuting and stuff like that. But he was working primarily. So I just, when you said that these people have worked and have risen from what they have and gone ahead, so I'm sure you've developed so many people, and that's the right success, I feel, because one person cannot do entire thing. So it has to percolate, and to as many, so that they can, do that work ahead, continue basically. So really hats off to you. I mean, we built a really big community. I mean, it's a thing, and being a this thing, I'm not saying women, but it needs a lot of, perseverance per se to deal. Yeah,
Yes.
we move to the next one.
So this is a wonderful moment when
Yeah,
we've been working in this Brahmapuri landscape, and
yeah,
we facilitated the creation of this Ghodajuri Wildlife Sanctuary,
okay,
which was taken forward by our Mr. Praveen Pardeshi. Now he continues to
right,
at the Mantralaya. He was being
yeah,
the forest secretary and BMC commissioner, and now he's the secretary to the CM. So he, with all of us, the MLA was there, Bhagwan Saab was there, collector was there, Chandrapur. So we got together. That is the moment when we all got together and we stood on the top. And then instead of using a map, he told Harsh, my husband, he said, point out to where all the forest is. And we walked around this is the top of the hill at Saat Bahini Pahad. And we decided the
hmm,
boundary of the park will go from here. And this is how it will be. And it was such a beautiful moment that park is now being declared as a wildlife sanctuary.
wow,
It's a beautiful area, and I feel good. At least, I always tell people if we can do it, anybody can do it. You can help bring
yeah,
these changes. And there are wonderful government officers who actually do wonders. It's just that,
yeah,
if you work together, you can really bring change. And the right picture is special because that's Harsh and me. And then is Dr.
yeah,
Vilas Karanth, our mentor and guru. Then that's Big.
yeah,
And another very, very special person, Dr. George Schaller, who's a world
yeah,
famous, well-known biologist. And then Mr. Praveen Pardeshi and Bittu's wife. Yeah, so it's
yeah,
lovely. It's nice to meet these people in the jungle and, to get a pat on your back and say, yes, you're doing okay.
yeah,
Yeah, so
correct,
yeah,
correct.
lovely moments together. And yeah. The next picture I can see, the next slide was when Discovery Sports Land Rover, they approached us and they said, can we, showcase your work and put
Wow.
our car there and say that you're using the car for your work. And I said, sure, if that helps showcase
Yeah,
conservation, why not? So we are now
yeah.
in their advertisements. It's a full movie that they've made on Discovery
Oh,
Sports.
wow.
That it's based on Tadoba, and it
Okay.
showcases our work. Yeah, and
Wow.
this is a picture with me and my staff, patrols. Lots of field work that we've done over years. Lots of tick bites, lots of sunburn. Very
I'm
interesting.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then we've also worked a lot with the media. So this
Yeah.
was one of the NDTV big programs where Amitabh Bachchan ji had come, and it was all over. Yeah, so they
Right.
pan India thing. So our picture there, that's again at our home at Tadoba. Um,
Yeah.
Harsh and me, you can see my mother there. And
Yeah.
I've also worked very closely with government officials because
Hmm.
you see, conservation you cannot do single-handedly. It's all
Right.
about working with everybody. You have to work as a team. There are lots of hands.
Right.
You have to work with the collector. That's the collector Nagpur, and Sanjay ji, who was the CEO Nagpur, he's there.
Hmm.
So it's the media, it's the revenue, it's the forest department, it's Mantralaya, it's local people. So when everything comes together, only then can you have success. You can't be an activist
Absolutely.
founding the government.
Yeah.
I think you
Yeah.
have to work with them to kind of, move forward together. So
Right.
yeah, and the next picture I can see the blue people. These are our wonderful primary response teams, very very hardworking. Now they get a bursary from the government as well.
Hmm.
Every person there in all these villages in Tadoba, 80 villages, every person working as a PRT, though it's a short time. I mean, they don't work full time, but they come when
Hmm.
required. But the Tadoba
Correct.
Foundation is giving them 2,500 rupees per person per month as a little
Oh,
incentive. So
yes.
yeah, so it's a lovely platform where locals take ownership of
Right.
securing their community. And this is what we are expanding into the corridors. We are expanding it
Hmm.
into the fringes. So more and more people become aware, and we can create these PRTs in more villages.
Right. Right. Right.
And the picture on the right side is from one of the voluntarily rehabilitated villages in Tadoba. So this is a
Hmm.
very old picture. We've been working for this to move people out and ensure that they get a better life. So while
Right.
they live in Tadoba, they don't have roads, they don't have access to medical facilities, education and stuff. So
Hmm.
voluntarily they moved out, and those spaces have been now have been developed for wildlife. So that's a picture from there. And Tadoba is also a beautiful example of buffer tourism. I would like to
Right.
I would like to highlight here that this tourism is not being done anywhere in the country
Hmm.
because it is special, because it is managed by the local communities. You see, Tadoba, all around Tadoba, every little forested area which was open for extraction by these people or maybe grazing is now being utilized by those same people, but for tourism.
Right.
And
Hmm.
every family in the village which is near these buffer zones, every family has at least one person who gets,
Absolutely.
yeah, a full-time employment as a guide or as a driver or patrols or gatekeeper. So it's direct financial benefit from the tiger to the community.
Right.
And that is what creates a social fence around. So Tadoba, in the buffer, you'll never find anybody talking badly about tigers, or even
Yes.
पर्दे से ये हमारे हैं.
Huh.
It's a very strong dialogue to say
Yeah.
ये हमारे
Yeah.
tiger हैं. So
Yeah.
it only comes when they benefit from the presence of the tiger.
Right.
Otherwise, if it's only urban people who come and make big lodges and take away all the money,
Right.
it doesn't help. So this is a very, very strong success model,
Right.
replicable, yes, and
Yeah.
scalable also.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
So, here I would just like to share an experience. So, Poonam, whenever I take these urban ladies to, forests, so Pune, Mumbai, typical, I say do a Goa holiday, but also visit wildlife.
yeah,
So, these kind of ladies I take, and I had just a group when I had come to visit your place. I had a group from Pune, all four ladies, and I got Mangam Guard, who was referred by Kushagra sir, and I had requested him because actual what happens, those people work and we do not know sitting here. So I got him to our resort to speak to those women, and he had so many things to share. How he gets a call at any time at night, people panic. But if they, they even call back saying, Tiger la pakadla ka, parat soda. He's like our family. They feel that they have caught the tiger. So these all things, so the women also were in awe of, how things are working at Taroba, perfectly. So the entire community, as you said, and then they own the animal, the tiger per se. So it was really magnificent to, actually hear him out and his experiences also. It was perfect. Yes. Next.
So our work has also seen losses, negative
Yeah.
things, so many deaths. We've been asked to go and attend postmortems on behalf of NTCA or the PCCF. It's one of those formalities.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
addressing that. So it's been a khatta meetha journey. There you lose some, you win some. And so that's a picture when we lost one tigress at one of the Tadoba fringes. And
Right.
picture on the right is again our engagement with the community. It's
Yeah.
interesting to talk to children. And yeah, so we do
Wow.
do a lot with school children. My work was recognized in over these years through a lot of awards.
Wow.
But this was a special award given. It's a single award which is given as an international award. It's called Terre
Okay.
de Femme in France.
Okay.
So this is from Paris.
Okay.
And Terre de
Okay.
Femme means woman of the world, woman of
Wow.
the world, woman of the earth.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yes, I was honored with that, and it was
Fantastic.
yes. So then, yeah, and
So
all these
here.
are things that keeps you going, you know.
Of course, absolutely. So
Yeah.
we have a lot of questions, but we have some questions in chat box also. We have Sanjay Deshpande, who is a backbone of Jungle Bells, though we are front because it's a women's venture. But Sanjay is someone who constantly supports. We are based out of Pune, and he's a partner with us, but he is at the background because we are a women-led this thing. So I would, if he's around, Sanjay, you can ask her questions because we have to wrap up at 6 o'clock. So you can just,
Hello. Hey, hi, Poonam.
yes,
Hi.
Hi.
you're outside. Okay.
Actually, thanks a lot. And as I say, I am from Nagpur, by the way. Uh, my all cousins and all those grew up from Dharampet School and Saraswati and all those things.
Okay.
I grew up reading Dhanwatey, seeing Dhanwatey Ranga Mandir and Dhanwatey Vidya Mandir. Never thought I will actually interact with some Dhanwatey in reality someday. So thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. But because of my engineering studies and all those things, I got settled in Pune. But as you rightly said, as a Nagpurian, you can't take out Nagpur from us ever.
No.
So I also get connected with wildlife, and thanks to Jungle Bell and you all guys. So my question is definitely about two things. Though I am a civil engineer, which is a destructor of nature in every part and every possible way. But yesterday's incident, specifically speaking about it, how can we reduce it? And though you have answered on few fronts, but still few fronts are unticked, is what I feel. Because unfortunately, use of social media is getting too much in wildlife, and that is disturbing minds of locals and villages on many fronts. Is what I have observed sitting here in Pune. Another aspect is that every time anything happens to wildlife, wildlife tourism is held as a villain. So, but the one who actually works in wildlife, they understand that the tourism is the only way to save wildlife. Uh, I have interacted with many forest officers, as you rightly said, they are doing wonderful job, but at ground level, they never consider tourism as their friend. So, what is the future? Because humans are growing, number of tigers are also growing, and we are unable to provide space to humans even in cities. And here we are talking about giving space to tigers. So, how you are going to deal? Rather, this is a question to entire those who are fighting war for wildlife. You because you are on front and you are at the field actually. So
So
what
what
next?
happened?
How you look at it?
What happened yesterday was very unfortunate. I mean, and no matter what you do, no matter what we talk about, whatever level of conservation we talk about, we nothing can be more important than human life. That's understood. A tiger can never be more important than any human life, right? But it's also important to see what are the conditions where these attacks happen, and are these people aware that there are tigers here? Has anybody spoken to them about how to? I mean, you're not saying don't go into the forest. That's a secondary thing. Primarily,
Yeah.
when they do go, what is the code
Yeah.
of conduct required? How do they minimize their vulnerability to attacks? And how can they do a safe, how can they traverse safely through the forest? And
Right.
it does, awareness and talking to them does make a difference. People
Right.
in the buffer also used to go into the forest, they still do. But there's a difference, there's a change, there's a behavioral change. So
Right.
I think awareness is absolute must. Tigers, the attack has happened in the forest. So
Hmm.
tiger is not, it's not that he's gone somewhere.
He is going, yeah, it's his area, it's his home.
But there are two things. It's people coming into the forest or along farm fringes. And so the reason why people are there also has to be addressed. It's unemployment. So we are trying to
Absolutely.
bring livelihood options and skill them so that you bring them into mainstream employment rather than this dangerous, dependence on biotic pressure.
Hmm.
It is taking time. We are too many.
Yeah.
The biotic pressure on these forests is too big. So it's going to take time. We need more people, more hands-on effort on the ground. And tourism, I think Forest Department is taking a very positive look at tourism now. So they are encouraging as long as it is managed well. So if people are well behaved, and the Forest Department has absolutely no concern. There are lots of tourism open as per the government norms. So yeah.
Right. 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 Yeah, thank you so much. And one thing I wanted to ask, a lot of people here, women specifically, ask me, आम्हाला पण तिकडे मदत काही करायची असेल, so काय करता येईल? So this is a question I get when I take women into the forest. So do you have any suggestions, how they can help out if they want to come there actually? Because few of them have retired now, your kids have settled or they are on their own, or the IT professionals, like there are a lot of IT women who come and join me who have time. I mean, they come for their holidays, they would want to contribute in some way. So, how can they do it?
So there's always a requirement for educated women,
Yeah,
educated people to come and help talk to the villagers.
right.
I'm not saying tell them about tigers, but there are women in the forest, in the villages who have experienced losses.
Hmm.
We're still talking of only numbers. We're just saying
Yeah,
4
yeah,
were killed. Nobody's talking about what is the emotional trauma that their family is
yeah.
going to experience. Are the
Correct.
children now scared to go into the forest?
Right,
There are
right.
so many aspects where people can help. You can come,
Mhm.
you can look at their emotional quotient, you can see the
Hmm.
trauma, you can see can you bring some skills? Can you come and teach them English? Just come and teach them
Yeah,
or
yeah.
hygiene,
Correct.
or just improve their
Hmm.
life so that you bring them into mainstream employment.
Right,
And there's a lot
right.
of them. There are young girls who are going to school. So there's a lot of it. They don't require,
Yeah,
it's not generally you come and give them something, but even
yeah,
giving them time.
yeah.
There are so many things that Himangi, that we take for granted.
Absolutely. I completely
Sanitary,
agree.
sanitary
Yeah,
things, hygiene.
yes.
You never think of these things twice because it's such a
Correct.
part of our life. But
Right.
when these people do not, so if somebody can
Yeah,
come and talk to them, it'll be so
yeah,
easy. School
yeah,
programs, you can do small things, you can do artwork. And we are
yeah.
also my partners are there, conservation partners who are also working towards creating livelihood through art.
Oh, wow.
So that
Okay.
also, yeah. So there is a
Yeah,
lot that
yeah.
needs to be done.
Yeah, correct, correct. So just to ask you, do you also welcome such kind of people or to join with you on their own basis? I mean, I'm not saying this thing, voluntary basis, basically. So do you have any specific, in
Program.
this vertical, program where they can connect with you?
Yeah, they can. And I can
Hmm.
also connect them to our conservation partners who are doing
Right,
this
right.
work, because
Hmm.
our work is a little niche. It's
Right,
more
right,
contribution, so we don't really work too much on livelihood, but we can
right.
certainly connect with them. And
Yeah,
youngsters
yeah,
want to come for internships, and
yeah,
necessarily you don't have to come to Tadoba. You
yeah,
can find your niche anywhere. It can be in
yeah,
your own backyard, whether
yeah,
it is
yeah.
plastic or water or anything. So I think each one of us can do our bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. So thank you so much, Poonam. I'm sure you have taken so much time out with your busy schedule because I could see, you were at one place at one point of time, other place. So I wanted to have a word with you, speak with you. I mean, just interact with you because your work had already said a lot of things because I had read it up. So sure, thank you. And I would love to meet you in person sometimes whenever I visit there and would love to interact more with you. I'll surely, for the benefit to a lot of people on the Facebook also. So I'll put this up on YouTube for all of you. Please listen, go and look at her work. Um, I'll put up on the below the YouTube also the details where you can visit her work. And thanks again. We'll meet up soon. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for having us
Yes.
here. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Bye-bye.